You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty.
I didn't think I'd feel sorry for Elon Musk. But there he was on camera, eyes red, empire collapsing, and for a second I did feel sorry for him. Until I remembered everything he's done, and everything he's ever said. Listen to this.
Fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. The empathy exploit. Empathy is good, but you need to think it through and not just be programmed like a robot. I believe in empathy. I think you should care about other people, but you need to have empathy for civilization as a whole and not commit to a civilizational suicide.
And it's strange to see such a fall, considering he was the darling of the left for a while.
You're Elon Musk. What an honor to meet you. I'm such a fan of Tesla and SpaceX, all your companies.
And now his products are being vandalized across the globe. So why shouldn't we feel sorry? Well, because for every tear Musk sheds, there are thousands of workers, citizens, and even democracies paying the price for his power. So I'm going to come back to this interview at the end, but I want to build up a case to show you why you shouldn't have too much sympathy for the devil. We could start with the 100 to 80-hour working weeks that he wants.
And then just work like hell. You just have to put in, 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. All those things improve the odds of success.
Okay.
If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to
How he
achieve.
fires employees for questioning him or posting any form of criticism on Twitter whilst advocating for free speech for all. Or how about laying off 3,500 workers at X overnight? He's been more than happy on multiple occasions to fire staff from Tesla at the snap of his fingers. Tesla has also been hit repeatedly with lawsuits, some including racial abuse against black workers, as well as sexual harassment lawsuits being filed against Tesla. There are even issues in the American Tesla because they won't release data on the number of people injured or killed whilst working at their factories. He even went on to say that this is not some situation, for example, we are just greedy capitalists who decide to skimp on safety in order to have more profits and dividends and that kind of thing. He continued, it's just a question of how much money we lose and how do we survive? How do we not die and have everyone lose their jobs? And we're still not done because last tax year Tesla paid 0 tax in federal tax, despite Elon Musk's $11 billion personal tax bill, despite recording $5.5 billion in income and adjusted income of $7.6 billion. He's claimed the income from abroad, so he doesn't have to pay tax on it.
But this is only for the booster, right?
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too.
5 minutes later.
Musk is taking credit for the guy's idea.
I'd say that's one of the biggest improvements that we've made.
I gotta admit, that was when you were talking about that last time, and I kept thinking about it.
Literally, it was literally occurred to me in real time.
Yeah.
It occurred to me while I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
Thank you.
Then we have Musk cozying up to the far right. He's supporting the German AfD party, claiming only the AfD can save Germany. The party so far to the right that Marine Le Pen, who's also in a French far-right party, won't work with them. Here's the AfD leader talking about Hitler being a communist.
When we talk about Hitler, on the idea of the National Socialists, in our history was to label Adolf Hitler as right and conservative. He was exactly the opposite. He wasn't a conservative. He wasn't a libertarian. He was a communist, socialist guy. Yeah. So, full stop, no more comment on that.
Let's turn our attention to the UK, and I'm not going to go quite into Elon Musk first, because I've got a wild interview involving his dad.
A student of history will tell you that there's a very good chance that Tommy Robinson will one day be the Prime Minister of England.
Wow.
Yes, very good chance. Well, if you're a student of history, if you're not a student of history, then I can't help you.
Yes, you heard right, and it segues in quite nicely with Tommy Robinson. He thinks, for some reason, that Tommy Robinson is going to be Prime Minister. He goes on further to state that actually he thinks Tommy Robinson is like Nelson Mandela. He's been in prison for not really good reasons, and essentially he needs to be released so he can fulfill his destiny as the new Nelson Mandela. Thankfully, the presenter reads out the rap sheet of Tommy Robinson, but it doesn't seem to faze Elon Musk's dad. And I know we're talking about Musk himself, but seriously, the apple doesn't tend to fall far from the tree.
The rap sheet against Tommy Robinson, he's a convicted fraudster. He's got a violent criminal record, known as the English leader of the English far right. He's inspired rallies of mostly white, mostly male followers. He's anti-Islam and anti-immigration, currently serving time for contempt of court. But he also nearly derailed a court case over a child grooming gang. He nearly made that fall apart.
Yet despite that, including the assault on a female off-duty police officer, Elon Musk has continued to demand that Tommy Robinson be free from jail and has supported him continually. Over to Ukraine, and Musk has been parroting Putin propaganda. It's important to note that Musk did provide Starlink to Ukraine, and that was a game changer for their military forces against Russia. However, recently he started parroting Russian peace deal terms. That includes making Crimea formally part of Russia, redoing the regions, and having a vote as to whether or not they become Russian or Ukrainian, and that Ukraine remains neutral. This wasn't about free speech. It was about picking sides, and he picked the worst ones. And as a result, his empire is crumbling. This Tesla car park was completely vandalised with swastikas put on all the cars. In the UK, poster slots have been filled with fake advertising slogans about Musk on the London Underground. Back in the US, people have even filmed themselves vandalising cars. Tesla owners have even been targeted by strangers.
Cybertruck owners are being flipped off in traffic.
That's probably happened about 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
They also wrote a nasty message. It's gotten so bad, Emily Morales won't take his purple Cybertruck certain places. Dr. Kumate Jaroj got nasty calls when Cybertruck haters found out he was a doctor.
I hope you kill yourself.
And protests have been taking place across the world. Hundreds have been protesting Musk and Donald Trump outside Tesla dealership in Mills. Some protesters have even put out signs asking why Musk doesn't wear a suit.
Elon, ja, das ist dieser verhaltensauffällige Tech-Milliardär aus den USA.
As a historian, I give this a thumbs up. But it's not just the cars and the protests that's hitting Elon. People are now setting fire to the Tesla charging stations here in Boston as well as in France. And the woes kept coming as a hacker group attacked X. However, Elon initially blamed Ukraine, but it turned out that a pro-Palestinian group had taken credit for the attack. And while the people pushed back against Musk, so did governments.
US-based businesses will now lose out on tens of billions of dollars in revenues. As part of this government-wide procurement ban, we're going one step further. We're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done, it's gone. We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks on our province and our country.
Canada has also proposed 100% tariffs on Tesla, and all of this has led to a sharp decline in both sales, but also Tesla's stock. Tesla's worst month since 2022 coincided with Elon Musk's first full month in the White House. Tesla sales have fallen 29% in China, France and Scandinavia, and by 50% in the UK. This has then had an effect on his stocks, but also people on his board. So his brother has dumped stock. The Tesla chair, Robin Denholm, has sold 33 million in stock. Overall, that's had a massive dent on his stock, totaling about 43% over the last 3 months. And now he's crying on camera. The empire is crumbling, and for the first time, he looks like a man who knows he's lost control.
Call to action. You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean...
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress.
Yes, we felt something, but empathy doesn't mean erasing responsibility. Because when billionaires cry, it's not just about what they've lost, it's about the people they took down with them. He said he wanted to save humanity. Turns out it's humanity that needs saving for him. And if this is the fall of Elon Musk, it didn't happen by accident. Should we feel sorry for Elon Musk? Do you feel sorry for Elon Musk? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And once again, thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube subscribers who keep this channel going and growing. If you'd like to become one or you'd like to buy me a coffee, there's a link in the description. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Bye for now.